All right, so we are now live, at least according to this Hangouts. And what's live? Well, it's a game that was arranged through the Gauntlet, which is a community on the internet, gets together, plays cool tabletop role-playing games, of which this is one of them. Find them at gauntlet-rpg.com. They do lots of stuff. Like there's forums, there's a blog, there's a monthly zine full of supplements and original games, and there's podcasts, and there's the Hangouts calendar through which this game is arranged. This game is session 3 out of 4 of Mutants in the Night, a Forged in the Dark game written by DC at Dungeon Commander on Twitter. Dungeon Commander without the E in Commander. It is a game set in a near future dystopia where people known as mutants have manifested powers, and the world has decided to treat them in a less than fair way, corralling them into ghettos and punitive rules and all that. So this game is about finding community where folks least expect it. And yeah, we've had stuff has happened. Before we do that, let's kind of introduce our players and our characters, and then I'll talk about safety and whatnot, and I'll do a quick recap of what happened last time. So, yeah, let's go. Yeah, we're players and who they're playing. Ludo, start with the people on my screen here. So, Ludo, would you mind introducing yourself and your character?
Hello, I'm Ludo. I go by any pronouns, and I'll be playing Chopper, real name Jessie Park, and she is a mutant that has powers of memory manipulation, and she sees herself as a bit of a street racer, even if her actual job is to drive for Uber or future Huber, whatever that means. Yeah. And she got involved in a rivalry with her former teammate James, another street racer, and got involved on some dealings with Fifth House, which they seem to be a group that was seizing a lot of power within the mutant safe zone, and they were competing with the resources that the community needed to survive. So she ended up tangled on that mess last session.
Nice, and did quite well in the race. Well, with some help. From whom? From our next character and player. Pablo, introduce yourself and who you're playing.
Hello, I'm Pavel. I go by pronoun he, him. And today I'm continuing to play Mist, and the given name Cherry Jones. She goes by pronoun she, her. Mist used to be a stage performer, like a magician, but then she manifested the powers, and her skin turned into a bit of a stone, and by this point she couldn't no longer hide among the humans, and she had to come and live here over those troubled times. She is good at doing the graffiti around, and she's our team sort of shadowy specialist. But last time we have seen that someone caught her in similar as her own power, and she was like really freaking out while she was in illusion not controlled by her. And she's working over getting some puppet theater started over here in the mutant safe zone for the kids. That's Cherish.
Fab. Next player is a real fan of those kids. Will, would you kind of introduce yourself and who you're playing?
So my name is Will, pronouns he, him, and I am playing Harrison Blake, whose pronouns are also he, him, who is known as Thinner, and he is a very tall, thin, gaunt man who is the world breaker, so he's extremely strong despite his seemingly frail frame. And He used to be a student, but since being, stripped of his humanity and thrown into the prison of the zone, he's basically kept his human side going by keeping an eye on the littles, the orphan children who are exiled to the zone with us. And Thinner, he's has maybe like a slight bit of a dark side, having surprised the GM by immediately murdering 2 policemen in an alleyway. But it's just so easy for Thinner. Like, he always has to hold himself in check. So, that's what stresses him out about the murder. It's not that, because it's not murder if you're not human, right? But yeah, it's all too easy for Thinner.
Oh my God! All right, we have to unpack what you just said there in this session or two. Christ. Okay, so before we get into play, before I kind of do a quick recap what happened last time, let's talk about the safety tools we are using. Just because let's make sure that everyone's aware of what we're using so that we're playing in a comfortable environment, because that's the most important part, is each other's safety. We have lines and veils. They are in the character keeper somewhere in all those tabs. Lines are things that won't happen in fiction. We're not going to cross them, so to speak. Veils are things that can happen in fiction, but we're not going to concentrate on them. Like, the camera's just not going to concentrate on them. Throw veil over it, so to speak. We also have the X card, which basically means that if we roll into a scene where people are made uncomfortable for whatever reason that might or might not have been covered in lines or veils, like any reason, you can say you want to X card that element. You can say it on screen or on chat or on the roll for your party. And I might ask some questions on what's being X carded, but no one gets to question. If it's played, it happens. We'll roll back. We'll start over. And we also have an open door policy, which means that for whatever reason, if any of us, the 4 of us here, need to step away from the table for whatever reason, whether there's an emergency happen, you need to go, or you're more tired today than you thought and you just need to go, or you, like me, have drank more than half of this glass of water and you really need to go, you can call that in at any time, and we will pause the play, so to speak, and we'll accommodate. As always, it's all about being comfortable. Yeah. So last week, you dealt with a bunch of thugs in the community. There's still been surprisingly little fallout from the murder of the head of the Mutant Task Force, and also kidnapping his daughter. Is it kidnapping if she asked for it? Like, literally asked for it, as in she requested to be kidnapped. Liberating. There we go. That's the better term there. So meanwhile, while that's happening, yes, you need to concentrate on what's happening in the community, which, yes, the 5th house, a bunch of arseholes who kind of within monopolizing the attention of the mechanics and engineers, took care of that, won the race, although there might have been some chaos caused in the winning of that race. It involved messing with the traffic and also killing someone, and Finner killing 2 people. Okay, which I don't know if Hypereel knows that or not.
It was self-defense. Come on.
Okay, all right. You led them down an alley.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on murdering them until they said they were going to take me, and then I murdered them. Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
He was just covering my back because I was unable to protect myself.
Well, little did Thinner know that Mist was quite capable of taking care of herself, as judging from the. Oh my God! What even happened to that body? Oh God! There should have been more heat. Okay, no, we've rolled entanglements. I'll live with what you folks got. But yeah, aggressive protection. Yeah, I don't think Hypereel knows. Hypereel just basically made a cool speech to their rival. Like, come on, you're better than that. And yeah, so you took care of the 5th house. The mechanics engineers are quite fine with that. So now we're into downtime. So just to remind folks, downtime means there's a list of actions, and you can pick 2. Well, yeah, after the job, and you can pick 2 of them. And I think last time we did downtime, you weren't here, Ludo. We did kind of like rush it a bit because, well, thankfully we rushed it so Ferret could do some downtime before he sadly had to go. Say sadly as if he died. No, Ferret's fine. Ferret's fine. Check out his work. He's got a new playbook next month on Codex. Yeah. So let's do downtime, and we're kind of like, we're not. I'm not gonna say we luxuriate on it, but we're gonna like spend some time fleshing out what exactly you're doing. So I think whoever wants to do downtime first can go if they have an idea. Oh, all right, Thinner.
So Thinner would like to try and indulge his vice, which is checking in with the littles, vibing with the kids. I think he's going to try and focus on, the innocence, the good in this world, and the people, and remember that the people that he killed were the ones that shoved them here to live a life on the streets, right? So it's all going to help with him healing. But he's going to maybe rope in Dominique, his friend, the underground fighter, to help him deliver supplies and maybe check in on. I thought maybe we could do the roll, and that might, if I overindulge, that will shape the what happens. Because I have an idea for what would happen if I overindulge on my vibing with the littles.
All right, so spend time indulging in your vice with one of your trusted friends, and roll dice equal to your lowest attribute. Clear stress equal to your highest die result. And yeah, so what's your lowest attribute? Insight.
Yeah.
So 1 dice.
1 dice. Does anyone have the link to the dice roll? I've just realized I don't have it.
It's in the city tab, but hold on, I'll look it to you.
I was just looking in the lines and veils and didn't see it. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so that's 1 dice, and I'm aiming for 4.
Oh, yeah, underneath 4 or less.
Yeah. That's a 5, so I have overindulged.
Okay, all right. So
I overindulge. And I think that what I would like to overindulge is I would like to cross a line and lose my positive standing with the trusted friend. So I think what happens is this goes in a fairly dark direction. And the littles tell me about some some thugs who are harassing them and trying to snatch them up, and Thinner gets involved. Brings Dominique. Yep. Brings Dominique along, and Dominique is the only thing that stops him from a repeat of the events in the alleyway.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You gone too far." And
I think exactly what she says. Like, what the fuck? Like,
ain't nobody here protecting these kids but us. You understand? Ain't nothing.
I understand, but
people gotta see. You don't touch them.
You could have torn those men in half.
Yeah, I could have done. I could.
If I wasn't here, would you?
Well, we'll never know now, will we?
Oh, maybe. The fact that it was possible means that he could have.
Yeah,
and that's more than enough for me.
Well, they won't be back though, will they? Will we bothering the little ones, or trying to drag them down the alleyways, and God knows what with them,
And you think what you're doing is something they should emulate? They should look at?
They don't need to emulate it. I'm here.
They're children. Of course they're gonna emulate it. They don't know shit about the world except for what people they do. And this is what you're doing.
Yeah. Martin. And what they'll learn is that that's what happens to people who do what these guys did. Listen, I understand if this is not your scene. I realize we weren't in a cage match and it wasn't all for money. I'm sorry. Here, would it help if I paid you? Would you get your hands dirty then if I if there was money involved, Dominique? Is that what it costs? Is it all right to beat up people and to hurt them as long as it's bringing home a paycheck, or is it just wrong if you're doing it to help people?
This is more than hurting them, Harrison, and you know it.
Ain't nobody who didn't deserve it.
I think she spits at your feet and she's gonna storm off.
Yeah, well. Yeah. So I get to clear my 4 stress, I guess, even though I overindulged.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that Dominique is actually goes back to the alleyway where I left those guys broken and is helping them shuffle off to the clinic, right?
Yeah.
And Thinner's just going off and wiping the blood off his hands. But what he does is, as he sees another kid, he's got blood all over his hands, and he's just like puts his hands in his pockets and he's like, well, now, come on, why don't we go back to the place and I'll get you a raspberry ripple. See if anyone's got anything left.
I think it's actually Luna / Carolyn, and she's got sunglasses now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey now, Luna. I promised you a raspberry ripple, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, well, come with me.
Yeah, I think I think she'll come with you, and we're gonna close the scene with you going off.
Yeah.
You can tell she's just a bit more tense.
Yeah. And the only other thing I wanted to do in my downtime was train my resolve, which I don't believe. Maybe my resolve is trying to sway Caroline and lie to her about. Yeah, I just got the raspberry ripple sauce all over my hands. I'm sorry.
Like she's not an idiot, but okay, we'll play into that. Okay, you said that, so yeah, okay. Who else wants to do something that hopefully doesn't involve killing people, hurting people?
Okay, I want to leave if James replied to the message from last session in the open. Instead, I want to have a scene with Luke. So instead of that, I drive next to the college, and Luke is arguing with some other activists. And as the thing escalates, Jessie just drives by, parks, and rolls down her window and says, "How about this? Let's see who can put more posters before sundown, and whoever loses has to concede the argument."
I think whoever's arguing with Luke just says, "Oh, come on, we're not in a Kingdom Hearts minigame."
Well, maybe one day will be when part 4 comes out.
And all right, this is clearly you trying to indulge. Are you? I think yeah, Luke suckers them in with just. I don't know what they're arguing about. It is probably just Kingdom Hearts. I'm sorry.
Guess who even indulged?
For fuck's sake. Okay. All right. What do you want? Which one?
So, at some point, I'm gonna say that there is a falling out with Luke.
Why is everyone falling out with their friends? Come on.
Well, because I made peace with my rival, now I have to fall out with my friends.
Okay.
So I would say that the things go way too far. That it was something stupid and petty, and Hypereel is taking this way too serious. And at some point, she passes a red light, and suddenly there is a police car following, and Luke loses it because he cannot be caught. Otherwise, he risks losing his scholarship.
Yeah, I think probably like, yeah, he blows up at you and says, Jesse, what the fuck? Jesse, what the fuck?
I got this. Just calm down.
What the fuck? Jesse, I know you love going fast, but this is ridiculous. What are you gonna do? You're gonna outrun this cop? What?
No, I'm just gonna run back to where they cannot go.
Oh my god. Jesse, this is ridiculous. We're just putting up poses. This didn't need to be a thing.
Don't worry. We're gonna lose them on the Hyperloop.
What? What the? Jesse, you better know what you're fucking doing. If I'm caught with someone who's with a street racer, I could lose. The Hyperloop's not even. Oh my god!
That's sweaty. The thing. They're gonna think that we entered on the Hyperloop, but we did not. And instead, she enters on the suburban roads to Michigan.
Oh my god! Oh.
Just pretend you are boring.
Pretty. Oh god! And he's very sweaty. He's terribly sweaty. I think once you escape the cops or whatever,
he just storms out.
Yeah. He's just like, yeah, and he leaves. Where are you?
Next Thursday the same, and she just drives away.
Oh my god!
She did not realize how much she fucked up.
Yeah, of course you should realize. They should be adults. Should be. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Do you want to move to miss an action done by miss before you go to your second one, or?
Actually, I want to do a long-term project.
Okay.
So I want to actually work with James in making a new car.
Okay. What's the car for?
Basically, I want to make some mutant-friendly car, because most of the cars, they are made for human default. And I want to make a car that not only is designed to accommodate comfortably mutants, it's designed to work with their abilities.
Oh, well, that sounds fancy. I think this is going to be 6 steps for sure. We'll see how well you do. Which trait are you rolling for it?
Tinker, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, got a 4.
Okay, so on a 4, you're gonna take 2 on that clock. So I think, yeah, and this is just a start, and I think there's still a bit of like frostiness between you and James. You probably caught him when he's just a bit more haggard because he had to deal with like kind of distracting the 5th house and trying to lead them to bring them to someplace nicer, nicer state of mind. But you're gonna fall into like your old routine probably by the time we get to the next downtime. Okay. Those are your 2 actions. Not bad. Well, I say not bad. Okay, so Mist, please tell me you don't have any. Please. Well, let's see what do you want to do first.
So have we figured out how the wanted level works?
You have, let's see, you have heat of 4 at the moment. What exactly do you mean by wanted level? Like, what do you want to do?
Because the cool off, spend 5 cash and lower wanted level by 1.
Okay, hold on. Let me check something from the heat itself. Oh yeah. I think, yeah, that might have to be a collective thing, but that means it takes up your action. Do you want to do that? You're 4 heat.
I'm thinking about it. I'm just not sure how much does it actually really remove, because it's really easy to get to 6+, and some really nasty stuff happens at 6+.
Yeah.
So if we are at 4, this will this will lower us to 0 or something, or to 3, because I
Yeah,
don't know.
3. Yeah. To lower, you want to level by 1.
It's not even worth it spending 5 cash. Like
Mm.
heat isn't very good in this game, but that's my thoughts. Yeah, let's do it. I suppose. Do I know anyone who can work at the community center? Community center. I don't think I have anyone who can work there.
That's fine. We don't have to know anyone. You can't just go and like talk to the people there and say you wanna bring down some heat. Specifically on the 3 of yourselves, I guess.
Yeah. So before this happens, I think we meet up at the. Maybe the 3 of us meet up at our base of operation. Which, a reminder, it's close to the bar. It's I think we said it's like at the back of the bar where was like some abandoned community center was there before. And we are probably watching TV, and it shows that there was some outburst of violence at the again in the, and this is like only the TV, the outburst of violence in the mutant safe zone. Some task force policemen killed, and some of the mutants dead, and so on and so on. And yeah, and I just like showed it to the team, and I say that I think we should chip in some cash and talk to the nice fellas at the community center to maybe divert the cameras the other way, or create some good PR, because things are working very bad for us. I will need to like at least some cash from both of you, because it's probably going to be a little bit expensive.
Well, how much cash are we talking? 1, 2, 3.
Well, at least one from each of you. But if anyone wants, they can chip in too, because it will be $5,000 total. It's not cheap.
I guess I could put in 2 for those guys. I mean, what are we paying for their funerals or something?
Wait. Are we just going to overlook that you just mentioned deaths and funerals? What is going on?
Well, those 2 guys were murdered. Two MSZ officers came into the zone. What happened to them is what.
Well,
some guy must have jumped them in an alleyway. I mean, shit happens all the time, right?
Some pigs got butchered, but we don't own a sausage factory that we have to account for every pig that gets slaughtered in the mutant safe zone. Why are you talking this about us?
Well, I mean, small heat, right? I mean, Mist is right. It's things are getting hot around here, and it's our last job, the one we did with Slatina. I'm surprised they haven't come down hard, and these guys only happening. These guys getting themselves killed here in our neighborhood. It can only make things worse. I agree. I mean, hell, you know what? I'll put in 3. You guys are chucking 1 each, and I'll put in 3. How's that sound?
I think if we can divide it as much as possible, it's fine if you just give 2. I will just drop into however you want.
Yeah, actually, that you are willing to give the bit more, it's a bit weird. So I'm gonna cash in 2. And I get the feeling that I shall not be asking more questions, or I may regret it.
Well, okay. I'll throw in 2 as well. You throw in 1, then Mist, and we'll call it even.
Okay. So after I collected all of the cash, okay, I will go and see if I know anyone who's on duty, and try to get them to smooth things over.
Yeah, I think it's not too much hassle because again, this is a this is the downtime action, and it is just gonna happen. So let me read that. Where did I go? Okay, so how exactly do you think this network of political activists works to like remove you, as in yeah, remove you from the law enforcement's radar? Like,
Uh, I think maybe we see on the next day like an interview with someone representing mutant safe zone, and they're like a couple of people saying that the news are completely fake. Like we don't organize street races over here. This is all like fake news. And last time we checked, no police officers were killed at the spots. There are some patrols, and this is them asking for this. They're like blaming the Mutant Task Force that they are overtly brutal over time, and it's like completely redirecting it the other way. That they came in searching trouble rather than someone got at them in the alley.
God. Okay. All right. So yeah, your wanted level goes down from 2 to 1. I just realized your wanted level is kind of like the tier of what you're in. You're in like in Heat 4, you're in tier 2, but that bumps you up back to tier 1. Okay. So some of the less horrible stuff can happen to y'all. But that entanglement from last session is going to stand. Yeah, one more action, missed. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I suppose. Last time we have seen Mist trying to get some people to work trying to get some place for puppet theater. I think it took some time, but she finally got like a room at the community center or something, and we see her at the room just like working to connect everything, like get the speakers, connect the speakers. She has like craft some like the musician operator console because surprise surprise there is none, so she has like built one from scratch and like make all the like scene stuff working. So yeah, we see her spending a bunch of time working over getting the place into some usable state.
Nice. All right. So which trait or action do you think that is?
I'm going to roll in Tinker.
Cool. Roll 2d6. Oh, oh my. Wow, I'm so sorry.
Who knows? Maybe I won't even see this project completed before we finish.
I'm so sorry. I mean, it's the thought that counts.
But I'm going to spend a cash on. Yes, is that true? True. I can spend a cash to take next action.
Yeah, I
Or
think.
can I only increase the results?
Oh yeah. After the roll, you may increase the result level by 1 for each cash spent. So that means a 1 to 3 result becomes 4 to 5. So what that means is that it can go from 1 tick to 2.
Yeah. So no more actions, but like improve the results.
Yes.
Um,
And both 2 caches to get to a 6, which means you get 3 ticks.
mm, yeah, I suppose I will spend 2 cash on it because it was a little bit expensive. Had to like pay for some, so I get 3 ticks. So I'm going 2, 3, 4. I'm going to 4. So yeah, I suppose we see me just like buying some stuff from the engineers, getting some stuff bought on the like in the like full in the city in the Chicago, and then bringing this back. Some stuff just can't be rebuilt with basic tools. You just need to buy it. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So that was a fun downtime. Nice to at least miss this doing something to improve the community instead of just getting into fights with their friends. Uh, okay. All right. So we ended last session with kind of like the sight of like vans, like armored vans on the entrance of the mutant safe zone. And I wonder, this probably has happened before when the Mutant Task Force has just decided, you know what, let's just raid the safe zone for no real reason. And this, well, they say obviously for to pacify rogue elements of the mutant community. That's their official reason. Um, but yeah, I think this is exactly what it looks like. It looks like people in, faceless people in riot gear coming into the safe zone. And I think people know well enough to steep away as folks as these mutant task force goons just burst into houses and just toss the place for whatever reason. I want to know where each of you are as all this is happening. So I think you can just hear like chaos and whatnot, but people are kind of used to it. Yeah, no one's being turfed out. It's just that people are just coming in to raid the place. So where's each of you? I think I will start with Thinner. Harrison.
I think that Thinner is. I think Thinner is just. I think Thinner is actually looking for Dominique and trying to maybe, a bottle of some moonshine or rock gut or whatever, and trying to make amends, kind of thing.
Yeah, where do you usually think where do you think you'd find her?
Well, I think he's maybe I'm down at the like where the underground fights happen. And maybe that's where the bookie is. What's she called? Jackie as well. No, Victoria. Sorry, Victoria is down there normally as well.
Yeah, I think what you actually see is like Victoria locking up kind of like the door towards the underground entrances, and she sees you. She's kind of like had a bunch of files underneath her arm, and she's just like, "What the hell are you doing here, Blake?
I'm looking for Dominique.
Don't you? Ain't you getting word of what's happening around these parts? You need to shove off."
Why, your friends, and haven't you paid your dues to the MSC, the MTF? Sorry, have you not paid your dues? Come on, man. But we all know exactly how it works. You take our money, you make your money off us, and you keep everything sweet by paying them. Surely they won't come here. Where the cash grows.
Oh, you think I'm in such a cushy position with where I am? Well,
yeah, you get to leave, Victoria. Rest of us have to didn't come here by choice.
Well, this part of it is your choice. You can either stand around here yapping your gums and get into a whole mess of trouble, or you can head home and keep your head down like anyone who doesn't want to cause trouble.
Yeah, you know where Dominique is?
How in the hell should I know? As far as I know, I know she's smarter than you, and she is probably doing as any sane person in this flea pit of a zone would be doing.
Well, you take care now.
Don't worry, Blake. That's what I do best.
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
I think as you walking around, yeah, you're walking out in the open. You're quite you're quite conspicuous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there is like a line of, I think you kind of get caught like maybe near the entrance, as there's a proper line of like folks in riot shields and those electric batons, and I think there are 3 of those armored riot police will peel off from the line, and one of them just says roughly to you like, State your name and business.
What did I call myself last time? Uh, Hamilton Jones, sir. I'm just returning to my registered place of domicile. I will be out of your way shortly, I promise.
You're gonna be smacked in the face.
Yeah, he won't fight back.
Yeah. We have you registered as Harrison Blake, and one of them pokes the electric baton to your ribs. Please be advised that lies will be met with sufficient force, Mr. Blake.
I do apologize, sirs. Did I say Hamilton Jones? I meant Harrison Blake. You know, my poor muty head, we can't keep our names straight in here.
Another smack to the head.
Is there anything? Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Are you an ECW fan, Will? Okay, I think we're gonna cut for the moment. We'll cut that note to yeah. Okay, Tommy Dreamer might have been a Full Metal Jacket fan. Hypereel to Cherish. Jesse, sorry, Cherish is missed. I'm sorry. What are you doing, Jesse?
Well, the moment she starts hearing the typical commotion, she is under the hood of her car, and she comes out covered in grease, saying, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit." But she was working on the car, and not everything that she has there is completely legal. A lot of stuff Mutant should not have. Other stuff it was stolen. So she just starts trying to make nothing seems to obviously not belonging there, and the most dangerous stuff she is trying to find a way to destroy it or just hide it away.
Okay. I think as you're doing that, you hear like a on the garage door, Miss Park.
Yes, a moment. I'm just talking with the client, and I go with my smartphone on my hand. I'm sorry. These Fuber plans, they are always making us compete for the useless badges. How may I serve you?
I think. Let's see. You're in a garage, right? You're talking to them through the door, as in through
No,
the
I'm
garage.
opening the door.
Okay, I think they're just gonna barge in. They're not even. They're gonna ignore it. They're gonna start tossing the place around. I want you to do like a fortune roll to see how well you hid your shit.
Okay. When?
Okay. Okay. All right. This is turning out quite splendidly. What's the illegal shit you hidden around this house?
I will say it's a carburetor that because all the fusion engines of the cars, they emit some trace cobalt radiation. So it's one that actually captures it, and that is not even only ecologically friendly. It also makes very difficult to track a car in movement based on their gamma signature.
Wow. I think actually when they burst in, it's a whole squad of goons, but they're kind of led by this like prim woman in this black coat, glasses, and she just kind of nods at the goons, like, toss the place, anything illegal, take it, repossess it. And she turns to you, Jesse, and says, I hope you understand.
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you mean. And she's trying to pretend that what illegal stuff that disappeared. No, there was not nothing here.
Park, please don't assume that we're idiots. If anything, given the right job you did trying to hide all this, it's our right to assume that you yourself are an idiot for even trying this.
Right. Do you mind? And she points the smartphone. I have to pick up someone in 10 minutes.
Unfortunately, all registered mutants will be confined into the safe zone for the next 24 hours. I'm sure you'll find more clients once this new curfew is up, Miss Park.
Well, that is going to destroy my rating. Can I at least drive you somewhere? And she forces a fake smile.
Oh, no need. I live just a block away.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, they're gonna toss your place and just take your your nice fancy carburetor, and you leave, and everything else that's in there. I think they're gonna leave you with not much. I think the car they're gonna leave you the car at least. I'm not gonna untick the your project, but yeah. I might there might be some consequence for that. Mist, where are you? All this is happening.
I think we find Mist in peculiar position as soon as she's seen that the Mutant Task Force, the MTF Mutant Task Force is coming in. She ran as quickly as she could to the underground of the bar, where we see her standing and talking to someone from the owls, and we probably see the owls just arming up. They're taking some melee weapons and guns, and she's there to just try to calm them down and just convince them that they already had too much, and this is definitely not what they should be doing. So I don't know if you have any face in the owls yet, because Aeon is probably not here, so we need to.
Yeah, Aeon's not here. Let's see. There's a name I mentioned last time. I don't think I wrote it down. What the hell? Sorry, it's my phone there in the background. Let's give them a name. I'm gonna write it down in the sheet. Veronica. Let's say Veronica is. I'm gonna say Asian American, probably Filipino American, sure, why not? Yeah, I think she's the deputy at the moment of the owls, and she's when you say you wanted to escalate, is that what you're trying to do?
No, she
No, you yourself.
Mist wants to de-escalate.
Yeah.
So we probably come in to Mist saying to Veronica, find some senses. You and your bodies, and we take a look around as all those guys just arming up, loading rifles. Your guys already done enough. Don't you think we know who Aeon was working for and this big scale assassination? You brought this problem on us. Now don't escalate. Open warfare in here is no go.
Well, if you're so smart, Miss, what should we do? Should we just take these beatings and just take this violation? Should we just lie down? So what do you want to do?
What did you think will happen after you placed your agent to kill the head of Mutant Task Force? You were asking for trouble. What do you?
All we have is trouble. That's what our lives are now. That's all we do. We're marked. There's no hiding away from trouble, Mist. You want to bury your head as far away as possible. That's only a luxury that you're gonna have for so long, because what we are now, we're nothing but trouble. And no, nobody had a say on it, but that's what we get. Nobody asked for it, but that's what we are now. We're here having to eat all the shit that the world heaps on us. And we're fucking tired of it. Are you just gonna stand here and keep eating shit?
And we see Miss just like look around, and probably like almost everyone is just like looking at the discussion of the two of us who is right here. And Miss says, and Miss just like points a finger at Veronica and says, "This is what you want. There are hundreds of people upstairs who are trying to get by, and what you're going to do is going to make a hell for everyone. There are some who just wanna try to live in peace and go through it. Now, don't mix what you want with what everyone wants. You are not the speaker for the community. If you want to go out in blaze of glory, fine. Tomorrow, just like go and bomb the middle of the human city. I don't care. But right now, you need to cool off and wait it out, because if you go out with guns blazing, they're gonna be war in the streets, and there are hundreds of people who just wanna not like this day to end because it's already bad for them. So think about this.
I think this is gonna be a roll, not a fortune roll. This is a proper roll. This situation is. I can't rely on a d6. No, this has to be an actual you have to use a trait. So I'm assuming it's one of those resolve ones. You're either commanding or swaying. It's what do you think? Which one? Are you going for?
I'm going to say that I'm swaying. I'm not ordering her not to do it. I'm just like trying to appeal to her and to all of them listening in, trying to point out that there is a community and that they are not the heads of this community. So I'm still trying to appeal to them to not escalate it even further. So I'm going to go sway.
So that's 2d6. I think this is this is kind of, you're surrounded by all these alphas. I'm gonna say this is desperate standard. You are kind of, they know you, but a lot of them followed Aeon, not you. So yeah, I'm gonna say this desperate standard. 2d6.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. It's a 5.
Okay, all right. Okay, so on a 5, and no, I did not manage to read the Blades in the Dark PDF before this. That's my bad. Okay, so the intended target succumbs to your power, and slash or the intended is successful, but at a cost. Okay, I think what happens is like kind of Veronica kind of looks like she wants to like keep fighting, but someone in the crowd behind her kind of like puts a hand on their shoulder. I think this is another girl. I think let's give her a name. Janine, and this is Veronica's girlfriend, Janine, and she says, "Look, taking the beatings down doesn't mean that we have to keep taking them. It's just about being smart, okay? Don't need to fight a war. Not at this state." And Veronica just closes their eyes and just Aeon trusted you, right, Mist? Well, he trusted you as far as he could throw you, but he did trust you.
Yeah, I was with you with you guys for quite some time.
Well, we'll stop for now, and we'll only do it because Aeon vouched for you quite some time, and you don't change that drastically, especially around these parts. But I think she kind of like looks at you, kind of puts down. I think she was probably holding a sort of rifle, just like, you convince us to stand. We're standing down for now, but you're not wrong. We're not speakers for this community. We might be standing down, but others might not. And And I think we're gonna cut away to where Thinner is, and so Thinner, you're on the ground, and
So I had an idea, and it was basically that in this case, Thinner's just going to let them, you know, beat the crap out of him and leave him in the gutter, basically, like teach the mutie a lesson kind of thing, and he won't fight back. If you're willing to go with that,
yeah,
I
when you
figure this is the way to do it without escalating things even further and trying to
okay,
take on an entire army by myself.
yeah, okay, all right, cool, okay, that's fine. Hold on, I should check something. Okay, so yeah, when you say we have some more, yeah, they're gonna give you more. I think you're gonna take a harm.
Cool. Well, I'm going to go down, but I am going to use my Juggernaut special ability to toughen my body in order to avoid the damage completely. And if you're fending off multiple attacks, I take +1 stress for every attack after the first. And I'm willing to. I would imagine this as more than like one attack. Like this is
Yeah,
3 guys beating the crap out of me. So like, you
yeah,
just tell me how many attacks this is.
yeah. I'm not gonna make a count of like, all right, two. Um, yeah, two. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not gonna count it like, all right, okay. He gets 2 swings. He
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
4 swings. No, I think you're gonna take 2 stress.
2 stress. So that's like that would have been a total of like 3 harm basically. Because basically I imagine this is a normal person they would have left for dead effectively. It's only because Thinner can take it that he's able to trick it off. So I also really wanted to move my flare clock up higher so that we can see, rather than just dip into it every session. So yeah,
Okay.
I've taken 2 stress and 2 flare. And yeah, he rolls around in the ground, he makes the right noises and everything. And then when they wander off, he just dusts himself off, looks down at his torn clothes, looks down at the broken bottle of alcohol that they smashed over his head that he was supposed to give to Dominique. And he just goes, well, I hope those boys got it out of their system. And yeah, shambles off back to the bar.
Oh God. Yeah. Okay. I think we are on the hour of where we started. Let's take 10. And then yeah, yes, yeah, I have some more desperate stuff I should inflict, and I think yeah, I think we kind of know then where we're going for the rest of the session. Um, so take 10. Oh, all right, BRB. Just give me a sec. My sister is asking me what I want from the Chinese restaurant. I tried to have dinner before this game, but the most I got was a pastry. Give me a sec.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
I don't know how we communicate with each other. Does the zone have cell phone coverage?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think we're kind of like
Burner phones.
burner phones and whatnot. I think we can like skip ahead to later in the day. I'm not interested in like, oh, how are the three of you gonna get together to talk? No, let's just do that. I think it's probably back at your old base and just talking about your day. How's it going? Y'all probably the rest of you probably notice. Harrison, what's your state? Blake, Thinner, how are you doing?
Um, I think that there are like superficial marks all over his face and things like that, but it's like, you know, it's not bruising, it's not going worse. They're just like marks and like scorches from where like the tasers hit him, but like it all just is like a coating on the top of his skin that's already starting to clear up because he is the world breaker and he manages to shrug it off. But what you do notice is that he is wearing entirely brand new clothes from when you saw him earlier that day, like completely, like you know, they were all trash and he burned them. So he's just wearing like a crisp suit, like one of the last remaining suits that he has.
I think that Cherish is very caring for Harrison anyway. And as soon as she like notices that you have some bruises, she just like approaches you, just like touches the bruises, and just like says like, "Oh, the MTF didn't went nice, didn't went kind on you again."
I mean, I literally asked for it this time, but you know, those guys can't hit for shit.
Yeah, I see. Do you want some ice for this, or it's going to be okay?
No, I better save the ice for the drinks. God knows when
How
the power's
about
going
you
to cut out.
with the machismo crap? You know, you are not good for us if you are broken and useless.
It's a good job I ain't broken and useless then, isn't it?
Well, unlike this place, I never get used to how they can just come here like like they own the place and just trash it around.
They do own the place. They own it. We don't own anything. We are rats in a
Correction.
cage.
The city owns this because I know that they don't respect us, but you know that at least they will respect the city's propriety.
I mean, I don't see the mayor making any interceding on our behalf. You know, the purists, they're the people in control at the moment. I don't know. Every day I feel like maybe the owls have got it right.
Well, I guess I don't know about you, but this rat feels like banging on the cages.
Yeah. Well, it's been working out for us so far.
I hope neither of you is thinking about joining the owls and their initiatives.
What
I
initiatives?
I spent better part of the day trying to talk them down into not going to this on the streets with the firearms and mud and hatchets because they really wanted to. So I just
Well, no, that'd just be stupid, you know? Like, I didn't get this fighting back. You can't fight them all, right? You can't fight City Hall, and you can't fight the tanks and the bombs and the planes, and God knows what else they've got. So, I'm
I
just saying.
agree. But the owls, they might be up to something, you know. We don't need to fight them, but we can be seen. You see the point. You don't see the mayor complaining about us. But, people are just going along. We need to make it so people cannot just look away.
Yeah. I mean, people are real good at looking away.
Well, how about this? How we just take out our phones and we do a little job. I say we sneak away and we broadcast all that we have. They can stop us, but they cannot stop the signal.
But do you wanna broadcast what?
Well, what is routine here all too often, you know, just to see some good old mutants being trashed around. People
Man,
that,
that next thing you know, that'll be on pay-per-view. I
well,
mean, people. I I don't think that anyone's under any illusions of what happens when the task force comes into our zone, you know? Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. If they thought we were human, we wouldn't even be here.
well, but one thing is knowing, another thing is seeing. For some people out there, they might not want to think about it, but the people here 7 years ago, they were families, and now
Yeah.
they're on here, and they can tell under illusions, oh, maybe grandma is in a better place now. No, let's showing now the cops kicking down grandma's house.
Now, you know what? I like the idea, but maybe if we got something real juicy, you know? Like one of those black sites, I guess. Where they take the people they snatch up.
Do you have intel on that?
Well, I don't, but and he looks over at Mist and he goes, I think some of our friends with might be able to tell us.
I, I guess I could try to find out.
I
You
mean,
don't need to
what?
try. A voice calls out, and where you are, shimmering out of the room, is Janine, Veronica's girlfriend, who looks quite sad, but yeah, she's been invisible here the whole time. Sorry, sorry about that. Sorry about that. I was looking for y'all, but you seem busy, so I decided to just listen in. Sorry about that.
Well, I can see how it would be tempting for anyone with your abilities. God knows we all give in to our temptations sometimes.
More than most. Anyway, I might know something about black sites. Well, we might know. And we'd happily give you the info, but we have something more pressing at the moment that we need done. I think like her gaze kind of like slowly goes over to you, Mist. Is it-
Uh, I'm listening. I just hope you don't want us to bust out Aeon.
As much as most of us would want that, we're not even sure if he's alive. No, Chicago has gotten too hot lately. It's no matter what you might think, I'm afraid it might just turn into all-out war. But you're right. Not everyone wants to fight. Not everyone can fight. Not everyone should. Some people just want to live. So some people want out. Uh, there's a there's a group that wants out at the moment, and we need help to make sure they get out.
Get out and go where?
anywhere but Chicago at the moment. Like I said, there's too much attention here at the moment. And yes, we brought that attention on them, and they don't want that. We have contacts in other safe zones. That's how we got Slatina out. And we can bring them there for the moment. And not everyone wants to leave, but there's quite a number, and we need your help to make sure they get out. There's a... Oh, no, she's not going to say it until you accept, I guess. Until
What trouble do you expect? Did the MTF put a quarantine zone on us? Is there trouble leaving the safe zone? Because during day, anyone can jump into a car and just like drive off.
I think, I think she pulls out a phone and says, "This just came on half an hour ago when you were discussing," and she kind of puts up the live stream, and it is the mayor. Actually, no, it's not the mayor. It's the new head of the Mutant Task Force. And it's that woman you met earlier today, Hypereel. That woman in the black coat and the prim glasses. And she's talking about how, with the recent escalation of rogue mutant activities, unfortunately, we've had no choice but to put Chicago under increased security at the moment. So, there will be more inspections, more. Let's just say the security of those threatened by these rogue mutant elements are our most paramount. Oh, so she's not speaking like this. That's just my mind is a bit because I haven't had dinner. So she basically saying that the security of those threatened by rogue mutant elements are of the utmost importance to the Mutant Task Force. Therefore, there are now like more increased security around the safe zone and also on places coming in and out of Chicago, including like the port and freeways out. And I think the lady starts babbling on, and I think you see her name is Alma Forrest. I'll put it in the chat. Forrest, and she's gonna babble on and on until Janine stops the broadcast. Like, yeah, if only we could just drive off, but we can't. So we need your help.
Sure, give us maybe an hour or two to take a look how it looks on the border, and then we can jump into action. I just look at Hypereel and Thinner. What do you think, guys? And do you have any other plans?
I think this is exactly what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, why not?
And I think Janine kind of adds that anyone who gets out can help spread the word.
Yeah, why not? I mean, the question is, how are we gonna? Well, that's the blade thing, isn't it? Actually, you don't plan.
There needs to be an objective. We're not going to plan the nitty-gritty details, but
to get these people out, right?
Yes.
Right, and I guess we should choose a broad way of getting them out.
Yeah, maybe infiltration.
Yeah, I wish this had the detail, the kind of plan you pick, because this the engagement robe and all this, it is just straight from Blades. Okay, all right. So the plan is to get these people out, and I'm gonna say this is probably like 2 or 3 families. I don't think everyone wants to leave, but these folks really need to leave or really want to.
You know who can get to and from the border without being stopped.
Who?
The MTF.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and you know who's sending in wagons that could hold 2 or 3 families maybe in the back of them?
Oh my god.
The
Yes.
MTF.
Wait, are you suggesting we surrender ourselves to capture?
No, I'm suggesting that we take an MTF van and we use it to apprehend some mutants and take them for their own safety outside of the zone. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I can't fly. I can't dig tunnels. I'm not aware of an underground railroad that runs through here. So all I can think of is the one vehicle that will be able to get in and out without anyone asking questions is the one that's got the logo of the MTF all over it and the right security codes in the van's ID.
Do you think, Tanner, we can try to eliminate the dead bodies on this one?
I mean, don't have to kill anyone.
Yeah, I hope so too. I really like your plan. Like commandeering a MTF vehicle would make it much more smoother because I'm not a driver. I have no idea, and driving in some pickup around town sounds like a bad idea.
Tell me, Mist, do you think you can create an entire false group of prisoners? Because if you can, I think we're gonna do just fine.
Hey, we don't need a false group of prisoners. We got real prisoners. We got the people we're taking out. I think the real
Well-
problem is getting the van and making sure that the people we take it from don't. Yeah. So, anyways, should we not? I don't know how far we go into with.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
thing is, you are getting into the nitty gritty now.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
anything you might have missed, just do a flashback. That's what
Yeah,
the
exactly,
flashbacks
yeah.
are for.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
if everyone's on board with that as a general idea, like,
Let's go! Let's commandeer
I-
the MTF.
yeah, I also thought this will have some very severe consequences.
We'll see. We'll see. Okay. So, is this operation particularly bold or daring? Take +1D.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Is this operation overly complex or contingent on many factors? Not like last time. No,
No,
This
I
feels
mean, it's like getting a false van and driving.
okay.
It's
Yeah.
kind of is because there are a lot of things about the MTF you might not know. I don't know, code, security check-ins. It's like it isn't like complex on its own, but there are a lot of unknown. It's up to you.
Yeah. It is I think it is. It is contingent on. I don't think it's contingent on many factors. But it's just those factors are kind of big, like trying to
Yeah.
sneak past the MTF. I won't take the die away. I think as plans go, if it my barometer is it was simpler than last week's, then yeah, no, it's fine. Okay. Does the plans expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? You're kind of driving into the belly of the beast, so to speak. Well, no, you're in the belly of the beast and trying to drive out as it's snapping its jaws and having lunch.
Yeah,
That sure is a metaphor.
but dressed as its teeth.
Yeah,
You know?
dressed as its teeth. Okay, sure. Let's not get into this. Okay. Yeah. So I don't think it exposes a vulnerability. Is the
It
target
ca-
strongest?
It kind of it depends what part of the plan we are thinking because it kind of is because once we get the vehicle, other things become easier because normal cops won't stop us. Other MTF will just like probably pass us.
Yeah.
Once we
Yeah,
get the
actually, yes.
vehicle, it becomes easier, much easier.
You freeze up.
Just getting the vehicle it will be hard.
Well,
It's
there
okay.
are a lot of MTF tracks
Yeah.
around.
Oh, sorry, you froze up there for a bit, and
Me or Ludo?
I think it's Leandro who's got the connection problems.
Leandro?
you and yeah, it was mostly you, Pablo. Sorry.
Did you get all of the things we were saying?
Hello?
Or did you miss some of those?
Yeah, I think I got the gist of it, which is like
Okay.
you're kind of which is I think I'll give you that die then. Be nice. So you're down to 3d6 at the moment. Is the target strongest against this approach, or do they have particular defenses or special preparations? You don't know.
I think we are going against the MTF. Like, if
Yeah.
anyone is equipped to deal with mutants, it's MTF. So I think we are.
Yeah. All right. So take -1d. So you're down to 2. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation? I think the owls are helping. And maybe folks like Miss Friend Crystal can totally help. Maybe.
Yeah, I was hoping that Crystal can provide me with like a route, or maybe she can provide me with. I'm still not sure. Are we stealing the van or commandeering it by force? But she can definitely could tell me like where the MTF will be the thinnest at some point. So I think she is helping.
Ooh, okay. And yes, and I saw Ludo's suggestion in the chat. Shanisha is an insider. She knows about how the MTF detects. I'm gonna roll fortune. I'm gonna do a fortune roll to see if she knows. No, she doesn't. She will know where they are, as in where the so if Crystal's gonna give you like the route, I think Shanisha can tell you, judging by this roll, it was a 3. She can tell you like where the checkpoints will be specifically, and how many will be, and how strong the force will be at the border.
Well, then it sounds like we're on onto the roll, right? For the
3d6.
Add 1 because we have befriended the kids.
Oh yes, and the entanglement, the entanglement from last one is gone. So yeah, 4d6. Yeah, befriended the kids. Although the entanglement we rolled last time is, let me remind folks, it is specific rumors spread about your group and their abilities. On your next job, enemies are more prepared for the effects of your powers. Yeah, you bump down your wanted level, but that entanglement is going to stand.
Yes.
Cool. So
are there any enemies or rivals interfering with the operation?
Oh, no. Looking at your rivals, no. Aeon's still wherever he is. Victoria clearly is just gonna book it. And James isn't really a rival anymore. Yeah. So I think you're fine on that front.
Cool.
4d6.
Who wants to roll?
You roll, Pavel.
Okay. Let me get.
It's missed mission, I would say. Really, at the end of the day.
Okay, I wouldn't call it that.
It's your contacts.
It's a 6.
Okay, cool. On a 6, good result. You're in a controlled position when the action starts. Okay, so what this means is that you will get the van. You will totally get the van, and we're gonna jump in. Yeah, you'll totally have it. Let's see. So I'm gonna say this van is probably like the size of a school bus. Just to accommodate like 3 families. I've decided now 3 families want to go out. And yeah, but it's like the vans they have are like, it doesn't look aerodynamic. It looks like a cylinder block with wheels, and and then a truck at the front. And so who's gonna be at the front? Are the 3 of you gonna be, or
who's the most human looking out of us?
I think that I should be at the front as well.
Yeah, I think you should be at the front. I think Thinner should be operating as like with a mask and being the guard at the back, like among like the families kind of thing. Like basically like the guy who'd be riding with the prisoners. You know what I mean? Like so I'm not in the cabin, having also just been beaten up by some of these guys, like, keep the guy out of the view basically. So
wait, so who's driving?
Pavel.
Of course. No.
Oh no, Ludvigo. Ludvigo's the driver. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, he's driving and Pavel's sitting up front with him.
Cool. Okay. All right. So I think this is night. Let's make this nighttime because nighttime's so evocative. Uh, yeah, I think you're gonna drive out of the safe zone fairly fine. I think whatever like ID tags were on your uniforms, it's gonna clear. I think for the moment, it's weird. Their security is quite lax on the safe zone itself, but yeah, and you're driving on the route um that Crystal kind of made up for you, and I think I think we'll because we're going up to the hour again, and yeah, I'm giving you all another break before the action kind of rolls out. So we're just gonna like in the episode this is happening. It's like probably some heartfelt conversations were happening, but let's take 5 this time.
Cool. You gonna be able to get some food?
Yeah, maybe another pastry. Yeah, I think that, and honestly, yeah, I might just take 10 actually to have another snack. I'm sorry, my stomach's.
No, man, get some food.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was we 1/2 past, right?
Yeah, half past.
Cool.
Cool. BRB. All right, we're back, and I have set up. Let's see. Oh, that's not how you spell suspicion. No, it doesn't matter. Okay, all right. So I think just because you rolled a 6, I think part of also what you get is that you know how those. Actually, no. I'll leave it for now. For now, it looks like you're just driving along and doing fine at the moment, but Chicago's tense. It's feels like it's it's on the razor's edge, so to speak. So while you're driving along, it's kind of I want to kind of like some details or some scene painting for y'all, just like from y'all, and I want like a detail of how each character can tell that things are tense in the city. And I'll start with Hypereel with Jesse.
So it starts small. It's a small detour that we have to make, but then as we go around, we say, well, weird. There is no work being done here. Then it's another detour. And then we pass in front of the one of the train stations and we see all the lights off, like the train is cancelled. And all of these seem to be keeping people from certain areas. It seems like whatever lockdown is happening on the MSZ is also rippling across the city of Chicago.
That's eerie as fuck. Um, Thinner. What about you? What do you notice about Chicago tonight?
Um, I think I notice smoke on the horizon.
Oh God. Good news or bad news? Mist. What the? What's the detail for how tense Chicago is?
I think that maybe we see on one of the squares that we have to pass close to, we see like a group of people, just like it's a protest, but not to make mutant lives easier, but to like kill everyone in the zone. They're like people with like the pictures of like some mutated beasts and just like a sign of like the red circle with like a one cross, uh, and it's very clear to us that this is like a purist operation, or like we probably like the tone is like very hard because they're like we don't need them, they are like bad, and they are like protesting probably on some square and shouting.
I'm thinking like the truck even has like a small strip of like mesh there, but so that people can see in and out and light can come in, and folks are probably throwing something things at the truck. Like there's just a burst of like I don't know rotten tomatoes or something, and yeah, I think the people inside the truck they were all kind of quietly talking to each other. Like normally, yeah, in these mutant task force trucks, lights are low. People are kind of like, you know, some people probably restrained, some people are not. But here, probably some lights are on. Some folks look like they packed. Some have like I don't know, those glow stick thingies that you bend to turn on. I never got that. And so it's a bit safe there, but yeah, when you pass by the purists, um, it gets a bit tense. Yeah, chemicals, man, how do they work? Yeah, fucking magnets. All right. I think unless anyone has anything they want to get off their chest, you're gonna. I think you're the first couple checkpoints are actually fine. They actually get through. I think there's something like, I think what they mostly ask is like, in each checkpoint they kind of like, they hold up like a scanner and just says ID tag, and whatever ID tags you folks got from whatever guards you beat up, hopefully just beat up. Well, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know about some people. I don't know. Maybe Thinner came back and just like, yeah, I got these uniforms. No questions asked. But yeah, no, these ID tags are gonna be fine for the next three checkpoints, I'd say. And I think there's probably like, even like on the truck, there's probably like some sort of GPS sort of screen. Yeah, there's a screen that's actually telling you like how many checkpoints, and you got that from Shanisha as well. There are at least 3 more to get through until you're clear of the city. And the next one, I'm thinking like, this is a, well, I think the next checkpoint is like through HQ, as in the Mutant Task Force HQ.
Yeah, just throwing a random complication, like probably they see this truck on the like GPS and like, where the hell are you going with this? I don't know, just trying some ideas so that you can have fun with.
Well, thank you very much for those ideas. Okay, all right. I'll note that down as a possible idea. I have some clocks that I really should make them more clear. Yeah, there's 2 clocks at the moment. One is suspicion, 0 out of 6 at the moment, because you got a 6 in that engagement roll, and escape, which is 2 out of 6 at the moment. So you're doing fine. You're doing fine. Maybe I'm being nice, being terribly nice. But yeah, when you go up to this next checkpoint, maybe like the first couple are like, it is just a bunch of trucks and some prefab like they're not gazebos. I guess they kind of are like prefab sort of like buildings. And I think this one is like, it looks less like a checkpoint and more like a staging ground. There is like a lot of movement. I think this is true like a square, and you're passing by the square, and there's like a lot of movement here at the square. There's like there's trucks, there's people fighting in and out. There's a bunch of tents. And who knows what's happening there. There's like, it looks less like, well, I guess police these days, especially in America, are quite militarized. So this is what this is what it looks like. It looks like stop giving suggestions. Do you want to run this, Pavel? Do you want to run this? No, I flagged that as soon as someone mentioned purist. Don't worry. Oh, you did as well. Okay, all right. Just yeah, and okay. So this next checkpoint, I think when the truck stops, and I think the guard these guards, they kind of wear like these like black plastic sort of like masks, so which really helps Mist if she needs to talk to any of these people somehow. And they go up to the driver, to you, Hypereel, and just says ID and documentation.
Sure. And I give Mac my ID. And as soon as he looks at it, I blank his memory of the last instant so that he thinks. And then I say, well, have a nice night for you too, and reach for my documents. To give him an immediate blank, which, well, I must have checked in automatic mode.
Yeah, it's like you're erasing the moment when you actually checked. It's like there's a specific JoJo reference I can make. Which ability is this again?
I will say it's rewind.
Okay. Everyone in the room, though.
Yeah, so the others, think that they are. Yeah, he looked right. He looked. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's so mark in your flare, and so it's gonna happen, and then yeah, fucking King Crimson. So he steps away, and then another person steps in and says, ID and documentation. Sorry, this is just a precaution. We've heard word that, well, we're prepared. So would you mind ID and documentation? This is a second person. The other guy stepped away and says thank you, and nodded to the second person, who's another faceless man.
And he's also approaching Hypereel, or is he approaching Mist?
I think it's. Oh, what's that? I think this person's also approaching Hyperreal, but on your side, yeah, there's totally like at least two more folks. Yeah, both of you are in the cab. Yeah, I guess it makes sense to put the heavy hitter in the back where the vulnerable people are. Yeah. So what it looks like is you two are in the cab. Another person is going to Hyperreal, but there's like two armored guards with with guns quite prominently out on your side. You can hear like the tumult of the military base of this staging area, as I don't know what the hell they're planning.
Okay. I'm gonna spend one stress to have a flashback.
Okay.
And we see the flashback. We see as both me and Mist are entering the front of the truck. We are discussing. They have detailed files on us. They probably suspect that we are empowered, or if not us, they think that they are empowered people. So we cannot rely on a single power of each of us. So we need to hit them with a combo. So after I do my thing, you do your thing, and we get back to the present.
Yeah, and we see version of myself. Yeah, and we see Mist just like shouts to the guy on the Hyperreal side. Just a moment, sir. I need to talk to you. And we see like Mist just like opens the door, gets out of the car and just like walks around, and as we see, I'm still myself, but as I approach the guy, I'm going to hit him with a modified version of myself. So when I come to him, he see this like MTF lady with the like without helmet, with like a nice long black nice blonde hair, and I approach him and I just say to the guy, this is an off-book prisoner transport. You know, the guys from the raid. This is off the books. So if you will just open the gates, we can get this thing going.
All right. So,
You know, we want to get them for what they did to us, don't we?
All right. So, this is a roll. I think this is still controlled because your powers are doing fine. I'm gonna assume. Oh, which action trait are you rolling with? I assume.
I think I'm totally swaying for him to like abandon the procedure of like checking everything and just like let us go. So I think I'm rolling with sway.
Okay. So I think this is controlled standard. You're still in control. Things have not gotten bad yet. Yeah, and you take a +1d.
Yeah, but it also writes that I should describe how my new appearance helps. I think we see that probably the guys who we got at the car were like all grand. Maybe we see their like military uniforms and their markings, and we see that I have like a one block of like red block, which means that the uniform they have is like the grand, but the illusion I'm projecting has like 4 or 5 of them. So like the guy just like looks down and just like sees that I'm far more important than the uniform I'm wearing. But he sees the illusion. So yeah, rolling the 3 dice.
Yep.
Let me group the dice so that we know which one we rolled. I'm really curious. It's a 6.
Nice. All right. So on a 6. And again, I really should have reread the. Yeah. No, I think he nods and says, well, I think it's all in order then, ma'am. Yeah, we needed these precautions after all. There's a specific group of rogue mutants that we've been called to look out for. We found traces of the evidence of their connection with the death of Nathaniel Fairchild, but everything seems to be in order here. I think he kind of lean. Oh, go on.
I look at him and I just like say, Sergeant, I've read the report. I know that you must be on the lookout. Now can we get moving?
Of course, ma'am. Although I will say, ma'am, I don't need to remind you of the protocols, ma'am, but the next checkpoint will require a search of the truck. I'm sure there's nothing untoward after all. This is a standard operating procedure, but we'll let you on your way.
Thank you for reminding me of the procedure, Sergeant.
Okay, so
I'm legitimately saying that. Thank you for reminding us. Yeah,
he's a very nice sergeant.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're gonna pass through this.
Mhm.
Folks are doing well. Oh my, I'm so annoyed. No, it's fine. While we're passing through the checkpoint, I want to cut to Thinner. Yeah. Or I guess, how do you tell Thinner that there might be an opening of the cab in the next checkpoint?
Yeah, of course. After I like walk around the car, enter it, I just like go back to the back part, and I just like look. Hey, Thinner, a problem at the next checkpoint. They might wanna search the back, so you might need to, put some people in chains. I hate to say it, but you need to make it look like we are really transporting some VIP prisoners off the books.
Cool. Well, I imagine that there was already securings for all these guys, like zip ties, right? So,
Yeah.
I will start going around them and going like, ladies, gentlemen, we just got to get through another couple of checkpoints. But first things first, I'm going to have to ask you to hold out your hands, and I'm going to have to put these on you. I promise it will only be temporary.
Even the children?
Even the children, I'm afraid.
I think there's a grumble, mutter.
Well, I mean, you either put these on now or they put them on for real in a few minutes.
Okay. All right. So I feel like there should be no. I think the roll will happen once we get to the second checkpoint. No, yeah, you folks are doing fine with the clocks.
I was almost wondering, like, would this be a thing to spend a flashback to be like, we already had them all looking like they were in zip ties, right? Like, or we already all briefed the children on how to act, and if it was searched, perhaps, like.
Yes. Yeah, that would make like later roles, like say positioning and the effect. That will make things better. But yeah, spend 1 stress for that kind of flashback.
Cool. Okay.
Okay. Next checkpoint. Um, Actually, since you're the driver, Hypereel, and you got this info, um, I want to ask, what does the next checkpoint look like to you? But like in contrast to the big weird staging area you pass by.
So the next checkpoint, because we had the human part, but we are living in the future, or at least that's what the ad say. So the other point is all controlled by robots. So you see a very set of cameras set on different trays, and they are separated so that they can capture you from multiple angles depending, no matter your speed. And you can see the invisible lasers going back and forth, the telemetry collecting, the face recognition software working. So it's all automated to track anything out of the ordinary that the human eyes before did not notice.
Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking yeah. You have to roll into like this specific spot so that all the cameras will be around you, and you get like an automated message, probably through like your GPS, saying like, security scan to commence. Please wait, uh, 5 minutes. A pleasant 5 minutes, as you can hear the scanning happening. And I think, yeah, unless you folks do something, um oh yeah, I think scanning is gonna happen. And also I think there is like a small like little drone bot will kind of drive up to the back, and like you know uh, Boston Dynamics have done real well in terms of robotics, and they are gonna open the door at the back, and it's like just one big uh terrifying lens, kind of going in to see what the people look like. I think because of the flashback, the back is gonna be fine, but the two of you in the cab, unless you do something, you might get found out. I think as it's kind of like the scanning continues. Unless, well, I don't know. I shouldn't say if you're gonna get found out or not, because there's no way to tell because you're just being scanned at the moment.
Flashback to those handy scan shields that you picked up from the owls. I mean, I have no idea how much you can go for on a flashback on.
Go on.
Okay, so we see a flashback to a simple pantyhose, and we see Jessie putting it over her arm, getting a spray can and starting to put patterns on it. And then we cut now to the two of them, and they put the pantyhouses on top of their faces to mess up with the face algorithm.
All right. Okay. So that's gonna cause 2 stress, and I need you to roll to see how well this works. Because it is an elaborate action, and not just gonna let you have it.
Which position?
Ah, God. This is risky standard. I don't think. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's risky standard, and this is probably Tinker.
Yeah,
You're
makes
fiddling
sense.
and stuff.
Okay, got a 6.
Okay, all right, fair enough. It's a 6. Man, you folks are doing really well. Like, I know some people wanted action and danger and desperation. Well, what can I do? Pantyhose over drones. Uh, okay, all right. So, yeah, fucking right. So does this cut to like when this cuts to like when we got after that flashback, we cut to like the inside of a mask you're wearing, and the two of you are wearing this stupid pantyhose. God. Oh my God. Yeah. After
We see Mister turn to Hypereel. Man, it's so good that you make those holes. At least we can breathe in them. But we look like we were about to rob a bank or something.
Well, it's meant to breathe. Just don't breathe too much, because then you will be breathing in the paint, and you don't want that.
Okay, I will hold my breath.
yeah. So I think the scan works. Well, you rolled a 6. God damn it. Yeah. After 5 minutes, scan complete. The little drone closes the door. Everyone kind of breathes a sigh of relief as like your piece fell off. As the automated gates just open up, and you're down to one last checkpoint. This is going extremely well. And okay, this last checkpoint. This is probably. Ye- what do you mean, just the tank? This is probably, and I'm gonna butcher Chicago's architecture probably because I'm imagining a bridge out. Because why not make it a bridge? And there's 2 tanks, obviously. I think this is like 2 tanks, a bunch of tents, again, a gateway, and I think as you kind of like driving through the encampment towards like the outside where you're driving through this encampment. So there's a bunch of tents. There's a bunch of folks like talking. There you probably pass like I don't know like some sort of war tent, and you see Alma Forest there, new Mutant Task Force leader, and yeah, I think you get to like the last gate, and there parked in front of the gate are 2 tanks, and I think this time it's not anything fancy. It's not scanning or elaborate procedures. I think for some reason the one guard, at least on the gate, it's this man in like he's dressed very familiar. I think you recognize the clothing he's wearing. He's not Draco Malfoy, but he's wearing like almost like the kind of the same uniform. Like it looks like a black blazer and a coat with like a red tie, and I think you kind of feel like a familiar. And that's the thing. It's familiar to you now, Miss. At the start, when you got hit by like this psychic attack, it was sudden, but now you can feel like the pinpricks of it as like he's scanning this truck.
I probably lean over to Hypereel, and I wanna say something, but then I just like turn and show on the guy outside to Hypereel, and then just like make a sign that he might be like, I'm trying to show her that he might be able to do more than we say. I don't want to like say it, but yeah, I'm just like trying to show it to Hypereel. Is the gate? Can we ram the gate? Is it like rammable?
You can try. That would be a roll. I think
Yeah,
I think it
I'm
looks
just,
rammable. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just asking if maybe it looks like triple 3 meters of concrete, which makes probably no sense to ram it. I'm just asking, does it look rammable?
I think it's metal and chain link. I think it's kind of those gates that kind of close in and out. I think I think it's rammable. I mean, you've got Thinner there; he can ram through anything. But jump on the engine hood. Yeah, I think it is. It's quite rammable. If you have to ask me for a effect and position, this is going to be a desperate action, but it'll be a standard effect. Just saying.
Yeah, I'm just like thinking.
Thinner will knock on the hatch. Yeah, we all good? What's going on?
We are yeah, it's a little bit unclear why they don't wanna us to leave the city. Maybe we need to go and talk to them. Yeah, why not?
I mean, you're good at talking, man. Like, you can do that.
I think that talking can only get us so far, honestly.
It's a good job you got other tricks to pull.
Yeah, I'm going to go and ask them to open the gates.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, I see those two tanks on either side of that gate, and you know, I don't like those odds. I can only smash so many things.
Mm,
I'm disappointed. I will think you will be curious if you can use a tank to smash another tank.
Well, maybe we'll find out. But let's not try.
yeah, we probably want to run. Okay, do we want to go for big actions or do we want to try to talk to them?
I personally, I'm liking the idea of us trying to slip out of here. You know, like tense kind of like style. Like as opposed to the getting all this way and then screeching through, ramming the gate, and you know, having the helicopters and the tanks and the trucks and everything chase us through Chicago with a van full of people, right? Like, you know,
If I can do that.
I don't want it to turn into the Blues Brothers, basically, at the end, where the Mutant Task Force is the Chicago Nazis and the police chasing us through Chicago's mall.
Yeah, I will probably like look at Hypereel and say, I will go and see who we need to talk to get out of the city.
Yeah, just don't try to be that Forest girl. She was right back there. I think that's probably a dangerous play. Like, didn't you make yourself look like I'm a Forest before?
And
we
that
just
was a long time ago, you know.
That was like 10 minutes ago, man, and we just passed the real one.
Yeah, sure, okay. Yeah, I will leave the car and like take a look around. Is this guy just like standing guard over there? Is he like guarding the? I'm just like trying to find a person who can authorize us to go out.
It
of
is
the
just that
city.
guy. It looks like it. He's the only one standing at the gates. Well, besides the two tanks, you can't see if it's manned or not. Everyone else is at behind you. There's just this guy. Describe a bit more. He's kind of like got close crop brown hair, and he's wearing sunglasses as well.
Yeah. And you said that there is this new leader lady somewhere?
Yeah, you passed her by, but she's in the vicinity.
Yeah, let's do something crazy. Like I go looking for her.
Okay. All right. Okay, you're gonna turn your back on the dude and go back, and I think, yeah, okay, all right, okay. Yeah, you find her at a tent, and they look like they're gearing up for either war or I don't know. Godzilla's invaded their city. What?
Yeah.
It's like that. Why am I that Roland Emmerich movie? You know, it's a war tent. What it looks like, and they got the map of Chicago, and you see you map Chicago and a map of the mutant safe zone. She's talking to at least two or three like just suits, and they're talking about how you probably hear talking about like one of them is like, how am I gonna sell this to the tourism board that Chicago is a safe place for you know, a safe place to visit when you have all this commotion, all this, and I think he stops because Alma just is giving him this look and says, all this commotion is necessary for a peaceful city, Mr. Bedford. A little pain now means more reward in the future. We absolutely cannot have a peaceful city where fine, upstanding folk can come and visit if we don't stamp out elements that would threaten us. So take this night of discontent for now. And in the future, hopefully, these elements would learn their lesson. I think you're probably like just standing at the edge as the suits just go just harumph a bit more.
Yeah. So I need to get close to her because I have a power that allows me to take her shape. And I think I needed to persuade the guy to open the gate because I can't imagine I can just like that looks like her. That would be too easy. So they're like gearing up. I probably just like look and pick up like some like documents over here or something like this, and I'm just like sweating under this thing because I'm in a place where they will blast me to pieces without moment notice, and then just like take this like clipboard and a pen, and then like approach her, and I really want to like maybe like take like a cup of something to drink, and just like I just like knock myself up, and just like stumble, like flash the water or coffee on her, and I actually like want to like, oh my god, I'm so terribly sorry, and I just like want to rush to like get some towel paper and just like wrap it off her because I need to touch her to just like take her image, and I actually want to yeah, let's play it out and see how it goes.
Okay, so this is a roll.
Yeah.
This is which one? I'm assuming this is prowl.
Yeah, I'm kind of like pretending to be the guard. It's a little bit sneaky. I just like don't want them to look too much under the helmet. So I'm like definitely like holding this down. And yeah, I think it's I think it's totally prowl trying to stay sneaky on this.
Okay,
Even though I'm doing this like social style, pretending to be the guard. Yeah. Let's
All right, so this is desperate standard. This is ridiculous. Remember, if you roll desperate, mark in the attributes that you roll that. Yeah, you want to stick with 2d6? Do you want to push yourself or accept a devil's bargain for a third die?
Yeah, do you have some devil's bargain for me?
Not at the moment. Well, you could just push yourself. I think. Let's see.
I have something.
I don't have a bargain at the moment.
Okay.
I think because I'm just too nice to people.
Okay, yeah, let's go with 2 dice. Why not? Everyone has to die sometime. Let's move this die away.
Oh, if this is the moment. Hey, it's a 5. It's a 5. Okay, so let me look at the 5 desperate consequences. Yeah, I think what's gonna happen is you'll get what you want, which is taking her shape.
Yeah, as soon as I touch her, I'm just like activating spitting image, and I take the form of her, and the way it looks like I'm just like wrapping this towel paper on her, and she probably like takes it off me and she's like, "Come on, you moron! I will handle this." And she like tries to like wipe the coffee off herself, and then just like turn, and then just looking like her, and then just like walk out of the tent. Hopefully, who knows? We will see.
Well, yeah, I think when she turns, you're probably already walking out of the tent. What's gonna happen is, you know that clock I said like suspicion, empty of suspicion. It was 0.6. It is now 5 out of 6.
Of course.
You have a limited amount of time because it's
Yeah.
a 5. It's a success. So
Yeah.
you have a very limited amount of
Yeah.
time.
And I quickly walk toward this who is supposed to be a mutant guarding the gate, looking as the chief of the task force. Because why not?
I think you see like his eyebrow kind of raised over his sunglasses. Says, "Miss, everything's fine here, Mrs. Forrest. I'm just processing this prison van over here.
Don't overthink it. Open the gate. The van is scheduled to leave. Why hasn't it left yet already?"
All right, this is gonna be another roll. We're relying on Pablo's dice here now. I think Hypereel. What does this look like? Actually, what does this look like to you? How are you feeling?
I'm looking at the car. I'm looking at the clock, and I'm looking nervous. You know, I keep my feet on the accelerator, sweat coming down. I keep to disappear under my heavy dark clothes so that they don't recognize how nervous I am. Like, come on, 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 come on.
I think there's a
And
kid.
she's,
Oh, gone.
she's like, do I wait? Is this, can we still fix this, or I shall just make a run for it? Come on, come on, come on, come on.
I think there's a kid that sidles up to you, Thin, there, and just says, are we free yet? Can we take off these zip lines? They're really chafing. No. Okay. All right. Missed. which trade is this? This is desperate again. This is so desperate. The desperate standard would say. You're muted. Pablo, you're muted. Pablo, you're muted.
Ah, god damn it! Such a wonderful thing I said. Anyway, I think it's a command. I have no dots in command, but I'm totally commanding this guy to just do the order.
You can push yourself to take one die.
That's
too
yeah,
stressed.
I will do it because otherwise we are looking at no success probably. So I'll push myself to get one die.
One die. Yeah, because otherwise, if there's none, you'd roll 2 and take the lowest. But yeah, one die.
Unless you have some cool devil's bargain for me.
Oh no, it's either or. You either take a devil's bargain or you push.
Yeah, I know. Unless you have something, then I don't have to push myself.
I don't know what I can do to make your situation more tense.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I'm rolling. I'm rolling a single die this time. Yeah. Let's see. It's a 1.
Oh, that stings. Oh, that. I think a voice calls out behind you, Mist, and Alma Forest says, the reason why he's not opening the gate is because he doesn't follow orders from people like you. And when you turn around, you'll see that it's not just her. There's like an entire battalion right behind her. I think Thinner from inside, you hear the guns kind of click. And I think what's going to happen as well is that psychic attack that's kind of like percolating in your head, Mist. Sorry, there's going to be a lot more consequences. It instead of just like probing, it is a full-on like psychic bolt into your head, and it's going to strip away your illusion, and you're going to take harm 2, which is I think laid bare. Is what it's called, or just I don't know, mind boggled, frazzled attack. But yeah, you're still going to take a harm 2. Level 2 harm, so to speak. And yeah, you're gonna be back to like what you were wearing, your Mutant Task Force gear, and I think and I think Alma Forest smiles, and her voice is loud enough that Thinner, Hypereel, and everyone inside that van can hear. And she says, "What foolish hope did any of you entertaining to think you can get away with something like this? All you had to do was stay and keep your head down. After all, in the conflict to come, only those who stand up and fight will get hurt. Fortunately, whoever's in that van just picked a side.
Just before I lose the spotlight, I probably like fall to my knees with this mind assault. I just like take off the helmet. We see Miss like her stony skin, and she just like holds her brow, her head, and just like tries to speak like, "We will not bow to the ones like you."
So
And then
while
what
she's
else?
monologuing, considering her interaction with the suits before and with us now, she cannot have good things on mind, things that she will not want other people to know. So I unblast her. So everyone is hearing whatever she's thinking.
um, let's see. Yeah, on blast. Jesus, a psychic to for someone's thoughts. Everyone. Yeah, I think. Oh, she has a terribly one-track mind. Honestly, Miss Alma Forest. What people get, including the people in the van, including all of you, including everyone here, is she's not prepping for a pacification of the mutant slave show. She's preparing for an annihilation of it. The death of the Mutant Task Force. The reason why there's so much lull in between because she's been preparing for this moment. I think you get glimpses of where she was before. She worked under Fairchild, the previous task force boss, and because and he had his own like he had secretive stuff that he wasn't sharing to her. Which you might get a glimpse of like Carolyn in the laboratory and whatnot, but her, no, she was just looking for an excuse, and the death of the previous task force and all the stuff you're happening, including the street racing and the whatnot, all those entanglements. I think everyone, including the people in the van, including the three of you, get her thoughts, which is yeah under her control. In like very shortly, there won't even be a safe zone because she's got enough excuses to shut it all down. So yeah, ugly thoughts.
Well, Thinner is peering out the back of the thing and sees Mist cornered by everyone. And he's gonna like lean over to one of the parents next to him and just snap their wrist ties and just say, "Get everyone else out." And then he's gonna yell out to Hypereel like, "Well, it looks like we're ramming the gate.
You're
Get those
ramming the gate, and she
no,
starts.
I'm gonna go get our girl back.
Yeah, you ram the gate, and I
No, no,
start
no.
telling, I'm
I'm
going
gonna
to
get
ram
our girl.
something, and I'm going to drive over Alma Forest. Because upon hearing that she plans to commit genocide, Jessie loses all her comms and she's ready to draw blood.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay, well, I was going to dash out and fastball special Mist back into the van while you drove off into the distance, but it looks like you're going to take on the entire Mutant Task Force.
Oh no, I don't need to take the Mutant Task Force, considering what their leader wants to do. I
Yeah,
need to take her out. No
yeah.
matter what.
I don't look forward to the guns in that van.
Okay. All right. So what the hell are you rolling for this? What action trait is this?
I have no idea.
You tell me what you're thinking. Okay. I can see this as a skirmish. I mean, I can see this as a finesse because you're driving. I can also see this as skirmish because you want to kill someone. I also see this as a wreck because you want to kill someone really badly.
Mhm.
It's still a finesse, right? Because it's all about like getting that truck to go somewhere rather than just crashing it into the side of the tank at the side, right?
Maybe maybe in the process you want to reverse back so you kill her, and also the cab is open for Mist to jump in.
Oh, it could be like the door. She goes straight back, and like basically like the back of the truck just like snaps into Forrest's back, and she disappears under the wheels. But it stops perfectly so that it's just like right in front of Mist. The doors just
Yeah.
swing open, obviously depending on the roll, right? But
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend stress. I don't know if anyone can help me.
Yeah, I'm not sure if anyone can help. Mist is in a predicament, and Thinner was gonna do something, but it looks like he's gonna.
hold on to the side of the truck as it suddenly launches into gear. Like, oh shit.
Well, you can make me a pet by manipulating steel and concrete, but
I'd have to be out of the truck to do that.
oh,
Yeah, it's with my
Yeah.
hands. It's not
Okay.
like Magneto style.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I honestly didn't expect y'all to get to the final checkpoint without at least Tinner having to get out and bust
Okay,
the
I have
rules,
a
but
4.
okay. Oh yeah, that was a desperate standard.
Well, I get XP then.
Okay, all right. Okay. I mean, the consequences are gonna be okay. Here's what happens. Alma Forest, for all her wants and delusions or whatnot, she's just a woman. You know what happens when a truck that looks like concrete collides with a woman? Not very well. No. Um. Yeah. Well, what's gonna happen? She's gonna be knocked back into the knocked back, I guess, into the battalion. Sorry, I can't see the chat. My sister's just pinging. Yeah, the same thing that happens to everything else. Yeah. So she is gonna be knocked back, and I think you're not gonna like get a sense of what's I don't know. She might be or she might not be dead. Who knows? But she's gonna be knocked by the crowd, and I think the battalion guard kind of like one of them kind of grabs her. She looks limp, basically. If anyone can see, I think Mist, you can see that she looks limp and big looking bruise on her head, and there's blood coming out from her mouth as two of the armor guards kind of lead them. And I think what's gonna happen is, yeah, the cab can. I think. Oh, sorry, Thinner.
Well, I was
You're
just,
unmuted there, Will.
I was just gonna say maybe like even as Alma Forest is flung backwards, right? Like Thinner like swings out of the door and tries to grab Mist and scoop her back of the truck. Like as Hypereel does this kind of like reverse like arc back into Alma Forest, and like the doors swing open, and as I catch like trying to scoop Mist up, even as Alma Forest is sent flying.
Yeah.
I don't know what that would be.
Yeah, that sounds like a finesse. That sounds like a lot of stuff happening all at once. And I think because you rolled a 4, so what would have happened is that the cab would have stopped correctly for Mist, but no, yeah, you have Thinner. I think your action is sound. You have to grab Mist to get them out of there, and that sounds like a finesse. How's your
Okay.
finesse doing?
I have 0 in finesse, so that is
All right. So you can push yourself, take a die.
I am totally helping. If someone tries to get me back to the car, in my state, I'll at least try to help, grab him and pull myself in. So
yeah.
So that's let me find this bit where it actually says. Yeah, you get a die from that. At the very least.
So if he's helping, I get 2. Is that right?
No, your finesse is 0, right?
Yeah. So if I push myself to get 1,
Oh,
and
yes,
then
yes,
he
yes,
helps, and I'll get 2.
yes.
What would the devil's bargain be?
Well, if you're pushing yourself, you don't.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
what devil's bargain will be? Because of this extra time, what the devil's bargain is? Yeah, you can get this die, but
Get
what's
shot, that kind of thing.
Sorry, say that again.
Get shot.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, you're gonna have to take some harm here, because you're concentrating on helping Mist. But the thing is, you already pushed yourself, so it was either that or the devil's bargain. You will get shot. I think you will get you will get some harm you probably didn't expect to get. Because
Okay.
one of the things that one of the guard, when you open the door, you see that one of them actually has a bazooka.
I just thought there was like 50 guys with machine guns around us.
Yeah,
Now they've
no,
got
no, no,
bazookas.
no. They were
Oh, wow.
forewarned. That
Okay.
entanglement from last session was like they know
Okay.
world workers.
So if the devil's bargain is that you'd have a bazooka, is that right?
No,
Or-
you will get harmed,
Okay.
but you can
Cool.
get that extra die.
Okay. So how many dice would I have altogether? I'm not really following.
Well, you can either push yourself or take that bargain. Did you
Oh,
push
okay.
yourself?
No, I'll push myself. I'll push
Okay,
myself.
so that's 2d6, and that this is again. This has to be desperate. You're you're in a tight spot. What's up? What you get? What you get? Oh my god. Oh my god.
2. I got 2.
Okay, so yeah, you jump out to try and grab Mist, and as soon as you grab Mist, that RPG slams into your back, and the two of you are gonna be flung forward. I think you're gonna take the brunt of the damage, Thinner, but Mist, you also get the level 1 harm singe. This is part of the the consequence of this desperate. And Thinner, unless you have some sort of ability to
What
tank
level of
this.
harm would this be to Thinner?
Yeah,
Because I have 2 different moves. I can either use Juggernaut again and take harm to choose and toughen my body in order to avoid the damage completely. The move I used earlier, but if I'm under the threat of death, level 3 harm massively, I can also increase my durability, bring the harm down by 1 level, and then gain +1 to all wreck and skirmish rolls for a short
Yeah,
time.
no, this is level 3 harm because
Yeah, I mean, I don't really. I think that that's maybe like the 2 moves that don't really work because Juggernaut is already like it doesn't matter. It doesn't say what level of harm it is, right? So I could just
yeah,
ignore level 3 harm. So,
this
but
is
I
a bit
found
more.
it like not really cinematic. So
Mhm.
Unstoppable is more like you know, basically like that explosion will go off, send us flying, and like Thinner will just like even as he rolls to a halt, just push himself straight back up again and like stalk out of the fire like the bloody Terminator, you know, like and then start sending people flying. um,
Okay.
maybe make a run straight for that gate. Like
Ooh.
Yeah, I suppose Mist would shout like, "Get the gate! I'll provide cover." But I'm probably like thrown through this like shrapnel explosion, probably somewhere even further from the bus.
Ooh.
I think I'd like to think that maybe like what happened is we landed and like I'm all wrapped around you, you know, and like we roll, and then it's like then it's the Terminator thing, and you know, hair singed, fire and smoke still coming off your clothing, like whereas Thinner's entire uniform is just in shreds, like completely gone.
Yeah. I will say the obviously the suspicion clock has been filled because you're fighting them. The escape clock is 1 tick away from being filled. So, and I'm saying that because we're pressed for time. Yes. So if you wreck this gate, you'll have a chance.
Cool.
You might be in a better position if people use some abilities. Because right now your position is going to be desperate. It's
Yeah,
desperate.
Well,
I wanted to use it. I have you move the turn. I cast perfect sensory illusion over the large area for a short time. Everyone inside perceives the space as illusion of my choice. So we see like he goes for the gate and Mist is there like sitting and just like grabbing her head, and we see like this like blast of energy just like expand from her and goes through harmlessly through everyone. But suddenly from like everyone else, like the tank drivers, see the bus is actually like 10 meters further, and they like start aiming at the like bus, which is like 10 meters further. So like not here, somewhere there. And maybe like the soldiers see that from the bus, which is like on the other side now for them. The mutants like spraying and attack them, and the soldiers go to attack like the mutants. Like hopefully I can direct it so that Hypereel and Thinner see what's really happening. but it's it's confusing. Like I didn't expect this to. I had to use it, so hopefully they can act normally. It doesn't say so.
So take 3 on your flare clock and add 3 stress.
Yeah,
Poor dear. You're gonna need to do a lot of graffiti next section.
good.
Yeah, I should remind folks that if they ever get a bad outcome, you can totally resist it. I should remind folks that is a thing that you
Oh, I
can
didn't know
do.
you could do that.
Yeah, I forgot. Sorry, you could just resist, and what'll happen is you're gonna roll a thing to see how much stress you take to resist the thing.
Yeah, I think we already. I think the roll that should have been the attempt to resist was probably the one where Mist got caught. That would have been the one that would have been like, let's try and save this at all costs, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's for next time. That's just me
yeah. No,
still
I mean,
grappling with a new wish system.
yeah.
Okay.
I knew that resistance rolls were a thing. I just forgot that they exist as
Yeah.
well. Cool.
Okay. So what Mist has done, Thinner, is it's raised your whatever wreck roll you're gonna do, because you're gonna wreck this fucking gate, I assume.
Yep, I'm gonna wreck this fucking game.
Yeah. It's bumped you up from a desperate standard, which because of your harm, it was going to be a desperate limited. It's going to turn into a risky standard. You know
Okay.
how to do this.
And how would like my power bringing down the house work? I can unleash my terrifying strengths against the environment around you, steel, brick, concrete, and stone, or bend to your might. Is that just making it possible in the first place to do this, perhaps?
I think if you activate it, it's going to improve your positioning. It's going to turn from risky standard to risky great.
Yeah, I'll
because the role isn't so much if you can do it, but if you can do it in time so that folks can get away.
Cool. Well, that is 2d6 because I'm under the effect of unstoppable, and also I will push myself again, so I'll take another 2 stress.
Wow. So 3d6.
3d6, yeah.
Jeez, when you all are pushed into a corner, it's all stacking up. I remember like, oh yeah, Blades is kind of a death spirally sort of game, isn't it?
It's a 3. That's all I've got is a 3.
Resist that.
What do I do to resist? Spend stress?
Yeah, well, no, what's going to happen is, hold on, let me look it up because I really should have. So, okay, to resist, you can just say you resist that. And what's going to happen is you're going to gain 6 stress minus the attribute that you roll. So if you see that thin line, if you go to the actions, you see that thin border there. I'm going to say this is you're rolling against prowess. So what's going to happen is you're going to get 6 stress minus 2d6 because those are the number of X's that are behind that line.
Okay. Okay, then. Well, that's a 4 is the highest one.
Okay, so 6 minus 4, you get 2 stress.
I get 2 stress, cool, which takes me up to my full stress box.
Oh, oops. Okay.
But is it when I take up to my full stress box, I gain the trauma, or is it when I fill it up and go past it?
Oh yeah, that is when the PC marks their last stress box.
Yeah, so I've gained a trauma.
Yeah, so I think what's gonna happen is
I was really aiming to gain a trauma anyway, so that's fine.
I think what's gonna happen is because we're pressed for time. I think, and you actively bring down the house. You totally tell me what you do. Take it away.
I think that I go into the gate and I grab it and I wrench it and pull it down and I rip it off and I throw it, but it just I throw it into the mass of troops, of MTF troops, and they all get shredded by the tumbling masonry and things, and all of the kids see it as well, out the windows. They just see all these people turned into paste, and basically as we drive out, perhaps Thinner gets back into the thing covered in in among all the kids, and he's just this is why he's going to be cold, haunted, obsessed, paranoid, or whatever, right? In the future, is because he's scarred these children with the effects
I'm
of
gonna
violence.
rewind that.
Yeah, sure, go for it. Yeah,
because the kids don't deserve this.
well, it's not about the kids. It's Yeah, I know what you mean. It's more just
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like showing the
I think,
monster kind of thing, you know?
yeah. I think
Like,
I think in terms of shots, I think they're fine with seeing you kind of look disheveled and tired. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think they need to see
yeah,
lots
okay.
of people turn paste. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Maybe it's
So,
just me walking in like on fire and like covered in like,
well,
rock and things like that. And yeah, maybe he just collapses,
yeah,
like
and Hypereel.
Yeah, I probably like
Is it-
scoop you up and run into the bus as Hypereel is driving away through that open gate.
Yeah, yeah, and then
Come on, big guy, let's go! And it's like, to get to the bus.
he's surprisingly light. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Like, why I can carry you?
At some point, Hypereel just puts the track in a self driver and just puts her hand on her head. What have we done?
You've just run over another head of the Mutant Task Force.
Yeah, I worried that too, but well, at least we got those people to safety. Relatively
we?
speaking.
Where are we going now?
I have no idea. We were supposed to bring them to this meeting point outside of the city. I don't know. I don't even know how we are getting back because definitely not the same route.
I think we can just montage that. I'd say again because we're pressed for
Yeah,
time.
let's assume that they told us where we were going to take them, right?
Yeah,
Like,
and they'll get you back in. I think, but I'm kind of like, yeah, the last shot is like the van driving off into the darkness, leaving behind kind of the chaos for a bit, and yeah, the three of you kind of sitting in the dark, wondering, oh shit, what's gonna happen now? Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's this is yeah. Can't wait to see what's let's do entanglements and whatever whatever payoff you get next week because we are way over time. Sorry about that. This is what happens when I get hungry, I guess. And have call for longer breaks. Yeah, I'm gonna stop the broadcast. Thanks very much. For yeah, thanks very much.